Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Marjana. I'm cabin crew who loves to read. So welcome on board and enjoy the video. I've decided to go on a mental health walk today because I really need it. In Dublin, I was always surrounded by people from my course and my friends. Then when I came here, I had all my friends with me, then I was working, and then my best friend came on my annual leave. And for a full week, I was just with her all the time, just hanging out. So now that she's gone, I am forced to deal with being alone, which I've never had a problem being alone. Until I started my new job, I had to be an extrovert because of my job. So it's been a little bit of a struggle just adjusting to my own hobbies. And I've mentioned in the previous video that I've been so happy and so relieved that I can be myself again. But at the same time, I feel like I'm also losing a part of myself. So I'm trying to keep a balance between both of them. So yesterday and today I went on a mental health walk. Vienna is absolutely stunning. I have to say, I am absolutely in love. I feel productive. Today I edited the video for my moving vlog, which I'm not proud of that video because I know there is so much more that I can do. I just wanted to get out of my house, get out of my room just for a little bit, just to have some fresh air, enjoy my time. Okay, so as you can see from the previous video, I actually moved my desk like this. So I have a backdrop of my bookshelves, and I separated the space a little bit from my workspace to my bedroom. I've been working on this bullet journal for the past few days now. It's actually been taking me forever. This is actually my 2025 reading journal, and let me know if you want to see it because I will happily show it to you when I'm posting the next video and do an actual tour of it, because I think I'm pretty much done with whatever I plan to do for the setup without the actual months of January, February, March. I made myself some tea. I don't know which one it is, but it smells fantastic. I wish you could just smell it. And the candle I lit is actually for my grandpa, my dog, and my other dog. Just wanted to do a little bit just in memory of them. It's also gonna be soon Day of the Dead. Also, I have a stack of books here that I want to start reading. I don't know which one, but whenever the mood hits, I'm gonna know for sure. Yesterday, I feel so proud of myself. I finished reading one book and I started reading another book. The first book that I actually read is The Duchess Deal. I started it yesterday and I finished it yesterday as well. It is by Tessa Dare, and I wasn't really in the mood for historical romance, but I was like, you know what, let's try something new. I went into this book completely blind. I didn't know what it was about. It's about this girl who is a seamstress and about a duke who needs an heir. He proposes a deal that they should marry and she will give him an heir, and then she will have the house to herself and he will never bother her again. The book was okay. I rated it 3 stars. It was cute. It is a bit ridiculous at times because the Duke of Ashbury is also this monster that terrorizes people because he is disfigured from the war. Would I read it again? No. Am I happy that I read it? Yes. I'm not gonna read this series onwards and I'm fine with that. Right now what I'm reading is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I am 66 pages in and I'm reading this combined with the audiobook. I am currently really enjoying it. It's a very summer book. It reminds me of A Summer I Turned Pretty. The concept is pretty much the same and I think it's common with summer books. There are a lot of similarities which I also found in my old books as well when I was writing them back in the old days. It is about this girl, Persephone, and every summer they went to this cottage by the lake, to this small town, and she made a friend there, Sam, and then something bad happened, which reminds me of the second book in The Summer I Turned Pretty. Something bad happened between them. They lost touch for 12 years. She longs to go back, but things have ended pretty badly and she doesn't dare to think if Sam will hate her. There is a terminal illness trigger warning for all those of you who are sensitive to that. And this is where I am right now. This is the part where she finally goes back to him and she's like, hey, are you okay? It's so good to see you after all these years, whatever. The reunion went nothing like I expected. So far, I'm actually really enjoying it because it's the only unpredictable twist. I don't really like her friends from her youth, but I do like how the story is being told from 2 perspectives. First is the present and then is the past. I will be forever grateful to you if you pretended with me that this eyeliner is even. because we both know it's not, and I choose to live in the Lululand for a little longer. We have had people renovating the apartment right above us for the past 2 weeks, and it's gonna last in total of 11 weeks. So I'm already exhausted. I love this mascara, by the way. Catrice Glam and Doll Easy Wash Off. No more panda eyes for me. I'm ready. I'm gonna go pick up my parcel and do some chores. Just went shopping to Lidl, and my problem with shopping is I have a list, but that's not the problem. The problem is that I never stick to it. I always buy more than I should. So it's 5 p.m. I went ahead and took the liberty to chop everything up, and this is what my freezer looks like right now. It is filled to the brim, absolutely full. It also occurred to me to tell you that I tried reading the oldest book on my Goodreads profile yesterday. It turned out that was Partials. I don't know who the author is, but Partials is one of those like really OG books, just like Uglies or Matched. In Partials, there is this world ravaged by disease, and babies are not born alive because the disease always gets to them first. The youngest person is 14 years old, and the doctors are trying to figure out how to make the entire race doesn't go extinct. So they're trying to reverse all those effects. Had I read this book or tried reading it a few years ago, that I would finish it, but right now I realized I don't really have an interest in this book. It's really nice to be able to take it off my list. After so many years, I finally tried it. I decided it wasn't for me. Now the longest book that has been on my Goodreads is The Way We Fall by Megan Crew. I think I've had Partials on my Goodreads TBR since 2013 or 2012 because I've added The Way We Fall in 2013. Do I own that book? The Way We Fall. I do own that book. As of today, this is the book that has been the longest on my Goodreads TBR, but it's also one of the books that I bought like most recent, which is I think last year. So it hasn't been on my bookshelf for so long, but it has been on my Goodreads TBR. Hello everybody. I made myself some tea. Let's get into this, okay? Because I have a lot of thoughts. I might have told you that I picked up Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I don't know how much I actually told you. I'm 188 pages in. I have 120 pages to go. I read this book about 100 pages yesterday when I was at the airport for 1 hour waiting what my gate was. So I was reading this and I was actually really enjoying it. I think this book made me fall in love with reading again. I genuinely think that when I'm reading in physical, I enjoy books more than when I listen to audiobooks, and I think that's what took away my love for reading. So I'm gonna try to go into physical a lot more, but the reality is I don't have enough time to just read physical. I want to do audiobooks because when I'm commuting to work, I just need audiobook if I can bring my book with me. Audiobooks are just more accessible, easier for me to read, but I definitely enjoy more physical reading. I had a conversation with my sister today, and I told her when I first started reading, I used to rate everything 5 stars. And then I would read and read and read, and then I would realize not every book was 5 stars. And then I kind of put a lot of thought into my rating system, and I started being more critical. And then I started being overly critical to the point where most of the books that I read were 3.25 stars, 3.5 stars. And I don't think, have I actually had a 5-star read this year? And here I'm not counting any rereads. I did rate Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller this year as a 5-star, but it was a reread. No, I've had no 5-star reads. I am very, very critical when it comes to reading. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ease my rating system because I feel like I've set impossible standards. So far this book, I think I would rate it 4.75 stars. But if everything goes exactly like it's going, I'm gonna rate it 5 stars because this gives me nostalgia. This gives me spring break vibes, if you know my book. This gives me the summer I turn pretty vibes. This gives me everything that I've ever loved in summer books. I feel good about this book. This book makes me feel good, and that is exactly what I want right now when I'm picking up a summer book. Oh my god, I thought I got called into work. Currently I'm really enjoying it. I want to finish it tonight. Will that happen? I don't think so. Make yourself some coffee. I have some thoughts because I finished Every Summer After and I feel like I want to talk about it. Don't worry, just a little bit. I won't talk your head off. Every Summer After is pretty much the equivalent of a summer story that is a hard hitter in a way that you wouldn't actually expect. It's not the kind of story where something really bad happens and you're like, oh my god, taken aback. It's this timeline of a friendship that we got to see develop from beginning to end, and this giant roller coaster of emotions, of ups and downs, of good days and bad days, of bonding come to a sudden halt. It made sense. Every single action of each and every character made sense to me. The way our main character acted and the final plot twist made sense to me. Was I angry? No. In some books in the past, I would totally be either taken aback or I would be like, oh my god, this ruins the entire book for me. But here, just because of the way it was written, I was like, okay, get it, girl. Yeah, I get it. You're not being cherished, you're not being treated well. That makes sense. This is also the equivalent of kind of like, should I say it, should I not say it, because I feel like it's a spoiler. Ross and Rachel's debate, were they on a break, were they not on a break, even though they weren't. The way that this communication happened, I would too probably sabotage everything out of anger. Overall, this was such a good book. When I put it down, I was like, this was my reaction. I just needed to sit with it for a little bit. And I did. One of my favorite things about this book was you actually got to see a friendship develop. And it was this flashbacks, but also present time and then flashback again, and you just got to see what a train wreck it all was in the present time. All the characters were immature, but also mature enough not to irritate you. I guess that was my point of view. That was Every Summer After. Now, you may ask, Marjana, are you reading anything right now? Yes, I picked up The Song of Achilles. I know, a very popular book a few years ago. Oh my god, I feel so old. I'm about 10% into it and I'm actually enjoying the writing. Then I also am reading Rent to Be, which there's a bit of a lore about this book and me. If you don't know, a few months ago my suitcase got stolen and this book just happened to be inside the suitcase. I started reading this book in May and then my suitcase got stolen in July. I read, I don't know, 140 pages. And then I never picked it up after my annual leave, so it sat unread in my suitcase in July when it got stolen. So I was like, I'm probably not gonna rebuy this book because I didn't enjoy it enough to buy it again. So I'm just gonna take it off my Goodreads TBR. Well, guess what? My suitcase came back, this book came back, and now I don't want to be a quitter and I actually want to finish reading this. And I'm currently on page, I'm on page 117 right now. Never mind. I must have been 80 pages in or something. So far, I'm not vibing with the writing style. It's either this. It's either the writing style or it's the font. I just cannot read this font. For some reason, my brain, it's like reading Comic Sans. It just does not cooperate. My brain just doesn't want to read. So I'm really struggling with this. The story is okay. The main character is a little bit annoying. Do I like the romance or the male main character? Not really. You know what? I'm not a quitter. I'm gonna try to pull through and see if it surprises me just because I'm in the mood. I'm not in the mood to DNF this book just yet. This is where I'm gonna actually leave you. I'm currently at work. I'm on home standby and I'm waiting to get called into work. I'm gonna try to have a 24-hour readathon, reading log, whatever. Try to read as much as I can, hopefully, if I don't get called into work. If I do, I will continue it tomorrow. With that, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I suppose I will see you during my 24-hour reading log. One can hope. You're always welcome. I want to do the Gen Z heart because I just recently learned it and I always do it now. I don't even know if I'm doing it correctly. Is it this or is it like this? Either way, I don't care. Okay, bye.